a billion seconds ago was almost 1994 when America last held the World Cup, and
No
Ireland
way.
was in that World Cup the last time they made it. That is the difference when people say, "Oh, he's a millionaire, he's a billionaire." It's like, you don't.
Dude, I don't know if I did something wrong, but I went to the cold plunge sauna this week, and it was like 115-degree day. It's like starting to get really hot here in Phoenix. I couldn't cool down after the sauna. I was like real fainty, and like I needed to get some electrolytes and food or something. It was weird. Like the drive home, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Isn't there a cold plunge where you go?
Yeah, so I start with the cold plunge and then I finish with the sauna.
What? Why would you end on a sauna when we live in a sauna?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not the smartest guy, but I've always done that. I jump in the plunge, like I take a warm shower to warm up, and then I jump in the plunge for 5 minutes, and then I get in the sauna for the rest of the time and then shower again. But you should end with the cold plunge.
Always end on cold. And I used to do the same mistake, but I'd stay in the hot tub, and it's like 3 years ago, a reset. They're the experts, and they're like, always end on cold. And first of all, I just want to end on cold because I know I'm getting in my vehicle that is out in God's blow dryer, out in this oven that we live in. So this time of year, it's easier. But what you want to do, this is via the experts at Reset, is you end on cold because you want your body for that last plunge to have to heat up itself. And so you're burning more calories. Your body's working to raise your internal temperature. So you're an insane man. You're lucky you didn't pass out on the way home going from sauna into the.
I seriously felt like I was like, damn, it is so hot out, and I was like, I don't think I did that right because I've been doing it for 3 months, like at least probably about once a week, and that's how I've done it, and I haven't felt that way before. But that makes so much sense. Like, why wouldn't I? But it's been nicer outside. But still,
you feel
like,
so much better too, just mentally after you're like that cold coming out. That's when all the dopamine runs it too. But dude, I'm with you. I just power washed everything in the backyard, like to get. It's got a new power washer nozzle. It's awesome. It's actually really fun. But I was so hot out there. I was like spraying and I had to judge the wind. I was power washing into the air, judging the wind just to get the downpour of the the hose water while I was out there. Like, who lives here?
I know. It's so crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to have to try that next time because obviously I'm doing it wrong.
I'm breaking one of my pet peeves, by the way,
What's
talking about the weather.
I know, but I had to tell you because I know you know how to do these things. I was like, I wonder if Phil's ever felt this way, but you have a good routine, and obviously, I'm an idiot and just like end in like a drenched sweat.
You're the glutton for pain. Let me see if I can make the ride home without passing out.
Yeah, that was pretty much what it was. You've been watching the World Cup?
I have. I watched that first game. I found myself very grateful for artificial intelligence as we enter this World Cup because I'm the person that hasn't watched since the Olympics or the last World Cup, whichever came most recently.
I haven't really either. I mean, we were in Omaha for Jack's baseball tournament. We went to the College World Series. We were watching NBA finals, like all that stuff. But now that's all kind of over. We started, it's like the dog days of summer. There's nothing that exciting going on. But when the World Cup's on, that's global, right? Like that doesn't happen every year. And it's fun. It's kind of fun to watch, but soccer's tough because that's just not like automatic constant scoring, but there's some dudes that are doing some pretty incredible stuff.
It's amazing. I think it's also like one of those times when we talk about the double-edged sword of social media. I'm throwing Paul under the bus, but she has been loving the World Cup social media that's been coming through and cracking me up sharing it with her. Then she got like all upset. She gets very upset at the World Cup because she's like, Ireland can never make it. Like the last time they made it was, I think, 94. And she like gets upset because there's so many good athletes. But their theory is like they split too many of their own sports that no one else plays. And so all these great athletes are playing field hockey or hurling and rugby and you name it, cricket, all these things. And that's why I'm like, that sounds like an excuse. Right?
Yeah. Well, they're multifaceted. Those guys also probably win the drinking challenges as well.
That's a different World Cup.
Yeah.
Beer fest. Yeah.
Well, I saw so Messi, obviously, Messi, best to ever do it, one of the best to ever do it. He had his first hat trick. I didn't realize it was his first one in the World Cup, but he tied for the most goals
Ever.
ever. Yeah, I think it's 16 now, as at least at the time of this recording. But that dude's just a magician. Like he just can weave in and out, and like he can find the right angles. And talk about pivoting from some of our previous episodes. Like can just find the perfect spot to put the ball that the goalie's just not going to be able to get to.
I was thinking of you. Did you see Norway's photo shoot?
No.
Pretty compelling story. I'm kind of obviously for Team USA here, but they haven't qualified in a long time, and they did the most awesome photo shoot all in Vikings garb, and it looks like AI, but it's not. Like they talked to the photographer and everything. I was like, this is sweet. Like they
That's
haven't been
awesome.
in forever. They're like, we're going all out, showing up as Vikings, and they're doing the row thing.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the whole crowd. It's so
Oh,
cool.
that's cool. Are they like grunting to like is the
Yes,
crowd
yeah,
chanting?
yelling. It is sweet.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I'll have to check that out.
And I think it's just like Paul and I were talking about it. It's so good. Like we did an episode, I believe, on the Olympics, and it's the
Yeah.
same thing. There's so much going on in the world right now, especially globally. And it's like we're all coming together in competition, but seeing people be proud of their countries and hopefully for the most part being respected. I'm sure there's some craziness going on, but it's just great to get back to, being able to celebrate your own country with other people celebrating their country and find some common ground. For North America to be hosting, very cool as well. Been a
Yeah,
long time.
all three countries, Canada, Spain, Canada,
Spain,
Canada.
the newest addition to North America. There is a
Oh
lot
man,
going on in
maybe
the world.
I might be still lightheaded from Tuesday. Mexico and the US, yeah, they're all hosting. And what is there like? Was it like 48
40,
teams or something
48
are in
teams.
there? And
But
yeah,
the whole grouping and I didn't realize that like one Islander team got in. There's some really great stuff out there on YouTube, by the way. Listeners, we're not going to attempt to be those talking heads. But it's a complex tournament. It's a complex tournament.
dude, did you hear that this is the first time FIFA is like implementing mandatory hydration breaks because of how hot it is? Like we were talking about how warm it was, but this is the first time they're requiring it. Apparently, it's like a big story. Like they've never done that, but it's a universal hydration break that they have to have to implement. And I don't know how that works exactly,
Sounds
but
like 2026. How about while we're on this note, we got to talk about the White House UFC fight.
oh my gosh, I saw the headline, but I didn't actually check it out.
So, high school friend Mike Chandler, he announced his retirement after it. So pretty cool that he got that invite. I struggle with this one. It doesn't seem like what the White House was built for, and it seemed kind of gimmicky. Everything I've heard from either people that were there or watched it said it was just an incredible event and like will never be topped. They've never been 6 knockouts, which that's the fighting portion, but there's been very few responses I've heard that it wasn't incredible. I was kind of like, this doesn't seem right at our capital, but to each their own. I'm not strongly against nor super excited about it, but heard it was a wild time.
That's crazy. Yeah, have they ever done nothing like?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Like
I was trying to think if they've ever done any sort of event or like that in front of the White House, but I don't remember or recall.
and
I
it's
would.
like, we're coming up on 250 years, our 250-year anniversary as a country, and there's wild things coinciding with that. It was Trump's 80th birthday, which is, I think, the justification for that event. But also, there's this path in the World Cup to where the U.S. could play England on the 4th of July
No
on the
way.
250th anniversary of us getting our independence from them. Could you imagine? Could
That
you
would be
imagine that
crazy.
storyline? Oh, we're going to be in Ireland at that point. It's like, we'll be catching that one. Anyway,
Dude,
not to,
that leads me to believe that 100% we're in a simulation. You can't
I
you
know,
can't
right?
write that. That's a script
Oh,
that you can't even write.
I agree.
That's crazy. So recently, just paying attention to what Elon's up to and all that, but SpaceX went public. For the listeners that maybe I don't know if you're living under a rock or not, but you probably heard about it as well. SpaceX went public and was the largest for a moment there, like the largest market cap. It's dropped down a little bit since it went public, but it came out at 135, and then initial at opening bell shot up to 150, and then it went up to like 220 in like a couple of days, 220 a share, and now it's back down to 185. But man, Elon, the first trillionaire, like that's unbelievable. And just to paint a picture of like how insane that is, like someone with $0 is closer to the second richest person in the world than that person is to Elon.
Yeah,
Like
it's yeah.
we're 300, $400 billion away. That person is $800 billion away. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and if you look at if you were to read the S1, which is the world I live in, there's some pretty interesting nuances in there on like how he got paid out in Tesla and hit his thresholds for exit. There's some pretty interesting ones in this one, like the fact that there are certain success metrics that have to be hit on Mars for him to reach a certain payout of his shares. Like it's an interesting S1 if you are looking for some falling asleep material to read. read SpaceX's S1. But it's a wild time to be alive, and it's going to be interesting to see what this does to the rest of the capital markets. There's I mean, it's all out there, like some of the other players that are trying to go, but it's like our investments is this going to pull up all of the capital that is pent up and looking to use, and other companies that are looking to go public, is going to be dried up and too late for them to move. So it's an interesting time right now, and getting kind of SpaceX being the first one, and obviously milestone record IPO. Grab your popcorn because summer's heating up in
Oh
multiple
yeah.
ways.
Well, it paved the way for a successful IPO like that. Paved the way for OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Anthropic, Claude. You know, those guys are IPOing by the end of this year as well, I believe. And I think some of the coolest stories coming out of SpaceX though is what is it, 4,400 employees became millionaires. Like
Yeah, that
they've been working for the company for so long, they were vested for so long, like from 10, 15 years ago, and they have enough shares, thousands of shares, 2, 3, 4,000 shares, whatever, 6,000 shares, and it equated to them becoming millionaires overnight. I mean, obviously they worked for it and it was vested, but just to go public and then now you could go sell some stock, liquidate it, and do what you need to do is crazy.
I think out of all like when I think of all the greats or the most successful with these companies, the biggest companies in the world, looking back, they're obviously on your mission and whatever product or service you brought to market, but like the impact that you had to mint that many individuals with um life changing money, life setting money has got to be just the coolest feeling that you're able to do that for that many human
Yeah,
beings.
100%. I mean, I think as any founder, entrepreneur, business owner, you want to see your team succeed and you want to help them earn as much as they can. And, for the most part, you would think that's the case. And to be able to actually do that, what Elon was able to do. Now, what's wild is like this business is not like it's all just it's all forecasting, right? I mean, they've had some
Oh,
successful launches and things, but they haven't like turned a profit. They're not they're in debt. Like that business model. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 years.
I would argue also that
But I wouldn't
whatever
bet
you
against them. Not to cut
whatever
you
you throw
off,
out in
but
those 14 no whatever you throw out in those 14 years, those individuals have not taken a vacation. I,
yeah,
I I doubt there were many Sundays off, quite
yeah,
honestly, from what I've
yeah.
heard about but
Well, there was
pretty
one story I saw where he had now, I believe he was a mechanic for one of the, for the shuttles or an engineer for the rockets, and he no longer works there. He's at Blue Origin now with Bezos,
mm,
and his stock, but he kept his stock there. He still had those
yeah,
shares that he owned, and
yeah.
which I don't know how that necessarily works because usually, like if your stock is restricted and you leave the company, you don't have it anymore. It's kind of like the golden handcuffs. Like I remember when we were with, ADP, there was restricted stock awards that we would get, but it wouldn't vest for 2 years. And so if you left within that 2 years, then you wouldn't get
It's
those
I
awards.
mean, that's the whole point. I mean,
Yeah,
it's to be committed to the mission and put your best work forward. That's how it has to work. It's not are you committed? What have you done for me lately? We have to see this thing through. So
yeah, it's
um
just wild. I mean, literally $1 trillion is 1,000 billions and 1 million millions. Like you can't even, you hear the word trillion, but it doesn't sound that much bigger than a billion, but it's insane how much bigger it is than $1 billion. And you can't even fathom having $1 billion. You know what I mean? It's just, it's wild.
There's an awesome conversion of that really puts it into play when you convert. I've heard it done in millions to billions compared to time. I
Oh, I know. I've seen that. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, how is it? I mean, he'd live for,
It's like minutes compared to years.
yeah, but it's not actual liquid cash, right? That's net worth and company worth. Like, it's not like he's got, just go
No,
spend it, right? So it's just net worth. But what's crazy in a lot of stories I've read about him is he doesn't use any of his own money. He just borrows against his stock. So like he goes to investors and banks and whatever and says, "Hey, I want to do this," and they're like, "Well, what do you?" He's like, "I'm going to put my Tesla stock up as collateral for you to invest into this deal." Like Peter Thiel, his fund bought like 3% stake in SpaceX, and they've been investing in him for like 20 years. I think the number was 660 million, maybe. Was it 60 million or 600 million? I can't remember, but it was significant, tens of millions of dollars. And I want to say it's 60 million that they invested in, and now it's worth billions, which is just crazy. Like to invest in something like that for 20 years and just believing and have so much conviction that they're going to outperform for you. Because he had 3 failed rocket launches and was on his last one before this whole thing was going to go bankrupt 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And then he was able to raise another 20 million bucks to do what he needed to do. And, now it's this successful. It's great. The stories and of never quitting and always pushing forward to what you believe in is unparalleled.
oh, 100%. It's like everyone doubts you until it happens, right? I've got the perfect context for the millions to billions. So a million seconds ago was approximately 12 days. So we're still within like the World Cup range. A billion seconds ago was almost 1994 when America last held the World Cup and
No
Ireland
way.
was in that World Cup last time they made it. That is the difference when people say, "Oh, he's a millionaire, he's a billionaire." It's like you don't.
So then what's a trillionaire? Like not even our lifetime.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean,
It's just
hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
it's like that looking at your life, how I did that chart for Gento on the squares, like
Yeah.
how much of your life is left. You start looking at things in that way, like, or you start looking at the universe that way, like what Earth is on the speck of the entire solar system globe. It
Yeah.
just makes things feel so insignificant, but also completely unique at the same time.
Well, even just from a very local form, like going on a hike to the top of Camelback or
Mm.
Piestewa Peak or whatever, and you like look around the valley, and you're at the top of this mountain, you're looking around the valley in Phoenix, and you just see cars driving, you see all these houses, all these buildings, whatever, but it's quiet up there, and you realize you're like, dude, we're just a little tiny speck in the city that we're in. Imagine the city is a speck in the country that we're in.
I always have the same thing. Like you're at a hike or at a good lookout on a at a golf course, and it's like, man, Camelback is not that far away, but it really is. If I needed to walk there, then you got 4 peaks behind you, and it's like so close, but yet so far.
Yeah.
All these
Yeah.
mountains within the yeah.
When I think you can get a little lost in it, but you can't wrap your head around it being you're so small that you're insignificant, right? Like you're still making impact around the people you're with, people you love, the things that you're doing in your community and all that stuff. Like, but it is wild to think like we are just a minuscule little piece on this rotating rock that we call
Dude,
Earth. But
that's the paradox,
yeah,
brother. It's yeah, you're a special little snowflake, and I really do believe that. I'm not taking that.
yeah.
That can be everyone is a snowflake. You've got unique, complete DNA. There's only one of you, but you're also a speck of dust on a spinning rock in the middle of nowhere. So if you can dance in that, brother,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
name of the game.
That's the magic sauce.
That's it.
Not wrap
I,
your head around too much of like, man, what's the purpose of this thing? Versus like, I'm changing the world.
Yeah, I guess Elon's a more impactful speck of dust. We'll put it that way.
Well, I'm rooting for him. I hope we get to Mars and like put a person there and do some cool stuff. I mean, now that we're like flying around the moon, obviously that wasn't Elon, that was NASA, but flying around the moon and just like the opportunities there for space travel and it's crazy to seems, but it's going to happen in our lifetime, and only imagine what it's going to be like a couple generations from now. Being able to travel like throughout the solar system is just crazy to me. Like it just blows my mind. But
if we make it that long,
well, we may not. That's what I'm saying. A couple generations from now. But
I was thinking of we as all of the specks of dust snowflakes.
Oh, you mean the entire species?
No, I'm just kidding. I am not a doomer. I'm not.
Oh man, you're bringing it down here, man. I'm talking about.
No, we're gonna end this on a positive note. Tune into the World Cup.
Yeah,
we're gonna be back at you next week. This was a fun episode, and let us know how your dog days of summer are going, what you want to hear about, and we'll keep cranking out episodes.